Hello again, Andy with HandyANDYHome.com, and welcome back to yet another inspection run through. And this is a home in the Alpharetta area that's being listed for sale. Eve Jones has this one, and we're gonna do some minimal repairs. This is kind of not really an inspection report, but sort of. So there'll be some other things that come up once this house gets under contract. You can sort of see if you look at the bottom and right brick molding on this front foyer window. That's got some rot to it. The double window over the garage here, we would replace that bottom piece right there. And they may not do this all right now, but we'll have pricing for them so they know what it is. The siding is the biggest thing they're going to do right now. The left side of the garage right here, that left frame is a 1x8 with that casing. We would just repair that piece as well. And this is LP siding. And, you know, they've pieced in it some places here, and you really can't, and the inspector cited it, you can't piece in hardy plank in the middle of a run. See the difference between those two pieces of siding? And what's happening is the ones around it are rotting. So we would continue and finish off these bottom, I think it's 4 or 5 rows on the left side of the house with grained hardy plank. Eventually someone would want to replace this, but most of the edges are good on the siding. You got a couple bow spots that the inspector pointed up here. See that bowing above the 2 bathroom windows up there? So we would replace those 3 rows right above. And the way to do it is not what these fellows did over here. When you replace hardy plank siding, you piece in an LP or Georgia Pacific or Masonite, you want to do a complete row. You don't piece in for a whole bunch of reasons. One of it is the rest of the siding is going to rot around it because the LP siding is thicker than the hardy plank, and you just can't make it match. They'll shim it, which is partially what they did here. But like you can see, someone put a second small piece right there. You would never do that. So I don't know who did this work, but we wouldn't do it that way anyway. On the back corner of the house, it's gonna be hard to see it. I'll scan off here in a second, and forgive me with this new camera they got me using, but this little fascia board right, I don't know, my finger will get to it, but right up there in the corner, see that little squirrel hole up there? They got some screening over it, but that's actually all rotted. The dog ear and the fascia board in that corner are rotted. And then on the back of the house, we would go ahead and just at the right corner right here, we replace that bottom row. The rest of it's caulked. He had somebody come out and change that slider for him, and they forgot to cut the siding, the caulk line on the old door before they pulled it, so they ripped up the siding a little bit. But the siding is still solid there, just that bottom piece is rotted. And then we get to the chimney, we've got a number of boards here. You can see where they replaced some right here. That's hardy plank, the bottom 4 rows. We'd place that next one up right there. I think the next 2 up in front of it, 2 or 3 up, 3. You can see the little X's I made up there. And then the corner board right here. We talk about this, you'll see it all the time. Someone repaired this before with a horizontal cut, and you see what happened. It rotted out the new wood, and it rotted out the old wood. So we'll replace all the way down to the ground. And again, you see what I'm talking about with horizontal cuts. Here's one right there. See how that cut like that? It doesn't fit right. It traps moisture between, and it'll rot out. That's a newer repair than the one above it. And then there's some siding up here. You're not going to get it too well, but above that chimney up there. So we got a number of pieces on the side. And then what happens is, the woodpeckers hear insect activity inside the siding, and they get in here right here. So you see that gap right there to the right side where that repair is. It got moist. Insects got in there, and the woodpeckers came to eat. And then they decided to make a house in there. So we've got about 6 boards that we'll replace on the center of this chimney. And all they're doing now is just replacing the worst boards. Chimneys get a lot of abuse. Again, you can see the repair somebody made over here. See that horizontal cut? It's already rotting out at the bottom because it's trapping water. So we'll replace that. There's a few boards, 3 boards I think on this left side over here on the chimney. And then there's a bunch more as we go up. So there's about 10 boards on the left side of this chimney. The camera's not going to get it real well. Overall, the siding's not that bad. If whoever buys this house comes in here and puts hand paint, caulk it, hand paint it, they can salvage most of the siding. And right now on this house, we're just doing what the inspector noted. And so you won't be able to see it real well. Probably we got dying light here, but yeah, you can see it right there. See the bowing in that siding. So the inspector's written that up. And there's the bottom 5 rows over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll replace the rows all the way across, and that'll get them through this phase of it. And that should take care of it for now. We pretty much do everything. We've been out here a long time. Any kind of carpentry, handyman repairs, you name it, we do it from an hour to a week. We've been doing this stuff for 25 years in Atlanta. I'm Andy. I started this thing 25 years ago. It's hard to believe. We actually got to go and bid a job the other day that I had painted personally by hand 20 years ago. And it's been sold many times, and another real estate agent called us to do some inspection repairs. So there we are, and we'll be doing that job next week. And The stucco still looked good, but the trim had been let go, so they got a bunch of rotted trim. But that's a big chunk of what we do. We're happy to help you any way we can. I'm at 770-912-2829, HandyANDYHome.com. We cover all Metro Atlanta, so call us anytime. Take care. Bye for now.